Right guys, back again for another review. Big Tom.
Damien.
Today we're going to be doing the Rose by Eden Mods.
Yep, this is a 22mm atomiser, bottom fed silica atomiser, can be used for single coil or dual coil wicking, and got this off of a trade on UKV. It's a stunning piece of kit. There was only 175 of these made originally. The next batch is due out early on this year, but this first appeared Vape Fest, 2013 by the guys at Eden Mods. They brought it down to basically show off their design and what got gauge people's thoughts for it. And then they did a batch at the sort of late end of last year on UKV. Lots of people were raving about it, and they got onto the batch, and a load of people bought them. And I missed that batch. I was pretty gutted that I missed it, but I kept my ears to the ground and looking for through the classes of UKV, and one of them came up, so I snapped it up because I was desperate to try it. Lots of people were raving about it and telling me how good it was, and it's a K-Fun killer and all that sort of thing they were saying, and I managed to get one. And I love it. It's absolutely fantastic. It's a high-end atomiser. I mean, this is not a cheap atomiser in the slightest, but it's absolutely fantastic. The quality on this is amazing. When I first saw it, I saw some pictures of it first of all, and I thought, oh, that looks a bit plain, and it looks a bit, you know, nothing funky about it, no edge to it. But once I got it in my hand, I was like, absolutely fell in love with it. It's a beautiful looking atomiser. But the main thing for me is the flavour. The flavour on this, and I must admit, I'm a silica fan, as you guys know, and I've tried pretty much every silica atomiser there is. This is at the top spot for me. It really is. It's not the easiest fucker to wick. It ain't. When I first got it, I'd gone onto some tutorials and I'd had a little look at Todd's reviews. I had a look at Just Poo's hands. I had a look at all these guys, and they were like, well, just do this, and I was like, oh, that looks pretty easy. And then I had to go myself, and it was a right bastard. But I've nailed it now. You just need to find your own technique. But yeah, I mean, this retails, this one was £120. Yeah, a lot of money, but your high-end atomisers, you look with the K-Fun 3.1 ES is £112, the Scrape is £115, Typhoon GT is £115, but for £120 you get a lot more with this atomiser. You also get, with it, this wicked little thing. This is a solid piece of stainless steel here, and it's a stand, and it's also a filling thing. You basically put your rose in like that, and you can fill it up like that, and also leave it stand. So you know you get more for your buck for 120 quid.
You can also put it in a sock as well and hit some with it.
Yeah, you can. You can give it all fucking scum. But anyway, I mean, this has got some major features on this atomiser. It has airflow control for the win, and a really nice airflow control as well. No screwing anything. It's got this nice little ring at the bottom, and you just twist it round. You've got your air hole there, you twist it round, and it can go up to 1.5 mil.
So simple, isn't it?
It's so simple. It doesn't have a removable drip tip because it's basically all this one piece of chamber down here. But the thing is, it has juice control, which is really nice, and it's just a simple turn of the drip tip, which basically leads down to the chamber, and it allows some juice in. And so if you're not getting as much flavour out of it, you just give it a little twist and add some more juice, and it's stunning. I love it. I mean, for some reason as well, for me, I don't know whether it's just because I'm a tripper or what, but it reminds me of Robocop's helmet. It does. That sleek sci-fi sort of thing. Do you know what?
We've got a rocket.
Do you see what I mean? It reminds me of Robocop's helmet. Not the remake, the original, the Paul Verhoeven one. You know, with Peter Weller.
Crazy man.
Yeah. It's also, now the chamber, it also has a ceramic inside as well. So basically you do your coil, you do your silica, and you drop it into the ceramic, and then you put it into the base unit, and you tighten up the coils, not by using like wrapping them around a Phillips head or anything like that. You tighten them up with some grub screws and an Allen key. It's actually in the bottom there, and in the sides you turn it up. I'll show you in the close-ups, but it can be tricky. It's not for the faint-hearted, in all honesty. And with the price tag, it's not for the faint-hearted. But it's worth every penny, for me. I absolutely love it. I mean, Typhon GT was my favourite atomiser of last year. At the moment, it's this one. I really do think this is fantastic.
It is,
now, this is the V1 version. This was the first batch that went out. Basically, Eden Mods put it out there to gauge everybody's responses, to work out what they liked about it and what pros and cons, got their feedback, and they are now preparing the batch 2, the second version, the V2.
Warning. Spoiler alert.
And they've made some improvements because this does have some small issues that not everyone would be entirely happy about. So they've gauged those responses, they've gauged those opinions, and they've rectified them. Now, this doesn't have an adjustable 510, basically. It's a fixed 510. Which can be a bit of a bugger, especially on something like a Pravari. I haven't managed to get this to work on my Pravari. If you have a fixed 510 connection on your mod, this can be a bit of a bastard, obviously, because it's not adjustable 510. So the V2 has adjustable 510. This is an acrylic tank, okay? They're upgrading that to a polycarbonate tank. You do get a stainless steel tank in the box, just like you would with a cave plum. So you do actually get stainless steel for your juice crackers, but acrylic is not as strong as polycarbonate. Yeah, obviously they're all stronger than glass, but it's not as stronger as polycarbonate. Even though it can be polished back if you get a scratch or something like that, they've upgraded the tank to polycarbonate. Also, they've upgraded the grub screws. Now, the grub screws in this do have quite a rare Allen key to do it up, one of them really thin 1.25mm Allen keys, which is a bugger. If you lose that, they're more of a bugger to get hold of. They've upgraded the grub screws so that you have like a 1.5 Allen key, which is a lot more easier to get hold of in case you lose it. There's also a lead-in chamber in the coil section, in the base section, so it makes it easier to coil than what this one is. Although, once you do get the handle on this one and you find your own style of doing it, it is pretty simple to do. And I must be honest, I haven't got any dry hits off this, any problems. As soon as I've wicked this and basically got it all lighting up and lovely and put my juice in, it's nailed. It's a fantastic vape.
Yeah, so basically the V2 is going to be an upgraded version to the original, but the original itself is lovely enough, and as Damien says, it can be a bugger to wick it at first, because I did get to experience a bit of swearing when you first started.
Yeah, I mean, the way I do it now is different to the way that's recommended. Basically, you take the ceramic out, you put your wick in the ceramic with your coils, you feed the 2 little pieces of wire through the holes at the bottom of the ceramic, and then you're meant to drop it into the base and then attach it, which I'll show you on the close-up if you ain't got a handle of what I'm going on about at the moment. But what I do is basically leave the ceramic in and then just drop my coil in with the ceramic. You can do it either way. You can even coil this without the ceramic in if you want to, just being mindful of the stainless steel base, not to get short. Now, there is some tutorials out here, and there are some great guys wicking this. Someone like Just Poo off UKV has even managed to quad coil this beast. So, you know, go and check out Just Poo's videos on this. He does all sorts of configurations and shows you how to wick this when he had the prototype version. So yeah, I mean, this is going to be available. I can't tell you exactly when because it's only 3 guys making these. It's the 2 guys from Eden Mods and their dad. So they're very busy. They obviously don't want to give an exact date because they're starting the machine now. But it'll be very early on this year, and you will be able to get this at Vapist. Okay, and if you're from the States, you'll be able to get this at big Buddha vendors.
Big Buddha, yeah.
So they've actually got some resellers now. It's not a batch list like the first batch was on UKV. You're going to be able to get hold of this from a reseller, and they're making 10 times the amount what they did on the first batch. So this is going to be accessible pretty much to everybody soon. The price I know for this one was 120. You do get the atomizer. You do get your stand and your juice holder, your mod holder. You do get your spare tanks, your O-rings. I think you even get a nice little polishing cloth with it, and you get this lovely little box as well. We were talking about this earlier. I love this box, right? I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I used to go around my old nan's, right? Bored shitless, I used to rummage through like cupboards and all that. And my nan had this right collection of boxes. She just had boxes. Fuck all in them, but she just had boxes. And I used to play with the boxes. Absolutely bored out me nut, do you know what I mean? And this reminds me of one of those boxes. It's like got really
floral,
nice.
Isn't it?
It's floral. It's really sort of, you know, oh, it's the rose. I love it. It's great. You know, it's really sort of posh. So, being not very posh, I like it. It's making me feel posh. You know, the rose is, you know, the rose. I love that.
See, elite's coming out in you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm elitist. Love you, Dan. But yeah, so, you know, I really do love this atomiser. I mean, for 2014 now, I haven't put this down since I got it. I got it pretty much, what, last week?
Yeah, definitely.
And I haven't put it down. I love it. I've called it a few times. I'm going to show you how to do it on the close-up in a minute. But, yeah. So,
it looks lovely on the red nemesis.
It does. I've got my little red nemesis tube today as a little sort of present for myself. And it looks lovely, doesn't it? It really does. I've got me red monkey jizz or juice, as I say, in front of the kids inside. So, yeah, it's really nice.
It is cool.
So what we'll do now is we'll go down to the table. I'm going to do a coil for you and show you basically it in all its bits and pieces, and then we'll come back and have another little chat. Alright, so stay safe. So here you have your Rose Atomiser by Eden Mods. This is the V1 edition. As you can see, it's a lovely looking design. It's a 22mm atomiser, but with the airflow control ring, it actually comes to about 22.6mm. It doesn't have a removable drip tip because that is used, it's attached to the chamber, which is used for your juice control. You basically just give it a couple of turns to allow some more juice into your coils. It does have a small circular cutting to let you know whereabouts you are on your chamber in case you unscrew too far, and potentially pull the chimney off. So there is a little mark there to warn you how far you're going. The air control ring is really smooth, it's really nice. Basically it just goes at a diagonal, so if you have your airflow fully open you have the full circle, and you just slightly move upwards to cut off some of that circle and make a tighter draw. It's really nice. On this V1 edition it's actually set at a 1.5mm airflow, but on the V2 they're actually upping it to 2mm. So for those who like an area draw, that will be something for you to look out for. On the bottom of the atomiser, it does have the name Rose engraved nicely in there, really nice. On the V1 batch on UKV, people actually had the option of having their own names engraved on the bottom, which was a really nice touch. It only cost an extra couple of quid, and you could have had your own name in there. I'm not too sure if they'll be doing it on the V2. It's highly unlikely, as obviously now they're going to be doing a lot more and they're being sold through resellers. But yeah, on the V1, some people were lucky enough to have their names engraved. So if you're on UKV and you're in the classes, you might end up with somebody's Rose, and it won't be the same name as yours. I know my friend Nigel has Patrick's, which is pretty cool. You have your brass 510 connection there. It's fixed, it's not adjustable on the V1. There will be an upgrade coming out, but on the V2 it will be adjustable, and I do have been told that you will be able to get an adjustable one for your V1, so nobody panic there. Let's take this thing apart. There you have your base unit there and your ceramic. Basically you put your coil in the ceramic there, pop it in like so, and tighten up the grub screws to make your connection. It's a really nice design. It can be quite tricky at first, but yeah, once you get the hang of it and once you get your own style, it's pretty easy. On the bottom you also see that you have these two holes made available for you. That's basically if you want to take this bottom unit off for cleaning or anything like that, you can. At the moment it's quite loose, so I can take it off. You can see the brass connection in there. In the V2 they will actually have an integrated tool in your stand, which will be nice, like two prongs that you can put in to unscrew it. Currently I've been using needle nose pliers just to give it a nice tighten, so if you are unscrewing from an atty you don't accidentally untie that bit, but be very mindful if you use these. Obviously you don't want to slip and scratch the bottom of your atomiser. Now, just like the K-Fun, this all comes apart. You have your tank units, tank pieces like so. You have an acrylic window. This will be upgraded to polycarbonate in the V2. And there's your drip tip and chimney. You also are provided this steel tank just in case you're into your tank cracker juices. So it does look really nice actually with this tank section in, giving it a full metal jacket. It has a really nice look, like so. So that's cool. Okay, let's get on with wicking it. Now there are a lot of tutorials online on how to do this. I know a UK Vapers regular, Just Poo, has done some videos on the Rose atomiser. He's done some great tutorials on how to single coil, how to dual coil, and even quad coil this. So come and check out his videos on YouTube. Today I'm just going to do a single coil. That's what pretty much of us all use, and it's a perfect chance to use my Eden Mod stand that comes with the Rose, which is really nice. So basically I've got a piece of 2mm silica doubled over with 4 wraps of 0.2 cantha wire, and I've made sure that the two ends are nice and straight on the coming out the bottom of the silica. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to feed these two ends inside those two holes in your ceramic, and then you're going to tighten them up using the grub screws at either side. Basically it catches, makes a connection, and that's how she fires. Now a lot of people take the ceramic out and then put this in and feed the ceramic back in, but it's kind of like going in blind, and I prefer actually just placing the wires in with the ceramics already inside the base unit. It kind of feels easier for me. And it should just pop in like so. And in they go. Now it gives us a very strong throat hit, the Rose. I was really quite impressed on the throat hit of it, and I've heard people mention that the higher you have your coils, that the stronger the throat hit you get, because it's further away from the air hole inside. So there's that. The lower it is, the less of a throat hit, and the higher it is, the more. So that's cool. I've got it quite high here. I do like a good throat hit. It's quite impressive. I'll tighten it up, and hopefully we have caught them. What we should do now, make sure that your silica as well, because you've got those 4 channels, you can easily have them all coming out like so. That way you get more juice fed to the coil. And let's check. Just check they're all firing nice. And indeed they are. Really nice. Right, so now what we want to do is we want to trim up the silica, basically flush with the threads. So just get your, use some scissors here. Nice and quick. Extra trim with my needle, with my nail clippers, sorry. Got my tongue out at the moment, concentrating. Just going to feed a little bit of juice to the wicks. Like so. Now put my rows back together again. And we shall fill her up. And another thing that's nice, we can turn this stand upside down and we can use it to fill up for our juice. Good amount in there. That should do me for now. Screw her in. screw down your chamber, take a vape. Adjust your airflow to how you want it. And off we go. Fantastic.
Alright guys, so after looking at Damien recoiling that, it's beautiful. The main thing for me, I must say, it is beautiful, but I'm absolutely humbled by 3 guys building such an amazing atomiser at such a small scale and then building up to a massive scale. So thumbs up to Eden Mods for getting it that far, and that's brilliant. So hopefully we'll get our mitts on the new one.
I mean, these guys are vapers through and through, so they know what they like as vapers, and they're also heavily involved in the UKV forums and things like that, so they've talked to a lot of vapers. They understand what they like. And also what I do love about what they have done is they've released the first little batch on UKV, engaged everybody's responses and asked them what improvements they think could be made, have listened and gone back and fixed it and tried to make everybody happy. And I think that's fantastic. Not a lot of mod makers do that. They release a product, go, if you don't like it, fuck you. But these guys haven't. They've basically gone out, created an already fantastic product with a few little niggles. I mean, what product doesn't? But then they've gone back and fixed those issues and attempted to make it even better. I mean, the adjustable 510 is a must. So when I heard that they were doing that, it's great. Now, nobody panic if you do have the Rose V1. There will be the upgrades available for you. They're going to be, and I think 95% of the V2 is compatible with the V1. You will be able to buy the adjustable 510 connection, because at the moment it's just a piece of brass that sits inside the bottom of the Atty with a pin at the bottom which slides in. So you will be able to get that. I mean, there is some lead-free brass in this which does tarnish when it comes in contact with juice. So I think they're upgrading that to SS. Just little bits like that they're fixing, because they've gauged people's feedback, and the feedback's come back in and people have gone, oh, we want this changed and that, and you know, job done really.
Best way, honestly, best way, as they were saying, they've got in contact with people who actually are going to purchase them, and as I say, they are a pricey Atty, but at the end of the day, they've done their research, they've done what they needed to do, and they've got it bang on for what it is.
Another thing about this Atty, which I've got to say, it's got a fucking fantastic throat hit. A really fantastic throat hit. Some of you guys are going to want to drop your nick levels. Just like they said on the K-Fun that you needed to drop your nick levels. Well, I never had to with a K-Fun. I really didn't. I didn't find it necessary. On this, it's like, whew, you know what I mean? You will have to drop your nick levels, some of you. I mean, it's bang on. It's an absolutely fantastic atomiser, and I'm in awe of it. So well done, Eden Mods. We will update you when these are basically coming out available, but keep your eyes open on Vapists if you're in the States, big Buddha vendors, and keep checking out for the Rose. If you're a member of UKV, there is a discussion thread on there, so go on there, contact Andy from Eden Mods, and he'll let you everything you know. Yeah?
Perfect.
Okay, so that's the Rose. Absolutely fantastic. I'm going to be vaping this for fucking ages. Thanks again, guys. Thanks to Eden Mods, and yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one. Stay safe.